who have far more tragic stories than my story. The inmate said, the reason you're out in 18 days is because people are talking about you. People haven't forgotten you. Otherwise, you would be 8, 9 months with us here. And the point that I'll make here is, just if you'll allow me to make this particular point, what I noticed with ICE is that when they know that the case can win in front of the courts, they try to trap you in the loopholes. For example, my original court hearing was the 6th of November. When they cuffed me and took me to Fresno in very tight cuffs until my leg was swollen, when I went to Fresno, they said to me, and they threw me in a cell, a 5x4 cell with 15 inmates in that particular cell, sleeping in the cuffs until the morning. They said to me, your court date has been moved from November 6th to November 10th. I said, why? They said, because on your charge sheet, which only charged me with overstaying because of the revocation of the visa, I know you mentioned the DHS tweet. Privately, none of those things that the DHS was saying were presented privately. And the DHS, while it was saying those things publicly, were privately saying, listen, can we just make a deal and just get this cleared up? When I went to Fresno, they told me the reason your court date has been moved is because on your charge sheet, it says that you landed in Santa Ana, California, which is true. I told them I did land. They said, we changed it to you were pre-cleared in Calgary, Canada, which is where I took off from. I said, I don't understand. They're both true. Why would my court be delayed 4 days as a result? They said, that's the way it works here. And this is why what you find with ICE and even these detentions, and this is the worry here, is that based on rule of law, this doesn't happen. The federal judge immediately said there's an infringement of freedom of speech. Then when the government challenged the jurisdiction, they said, as a foreign alien, I'm not entitled to freedom of speech. And a federal judge responded and said he is entitled to freedom of speech. What ICE would do to another inmate who doesn't have the media attention that I got is that somebody like Liqa Kurdiya in the facility in Texas, where a judge has ruled twice that she is to be released immediately, ICE, a for-profit organization that is allied with G4S and GEO, decide to keep her detained regardless in the hope that the rule of law will be subverted and that they'll find some way just to get rid of her from American soil. This is an attack on American freedoms, not on Sami Hamdi. It's an attack on the rule of law, and there are grave consequences if ICE are not held to account for the arbitrary manner in which they go after people who criticize foreign governments while celebrating rule of law in America.
Sami Hamdi, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much.